name is Trinity and this is my comparison video. For this assignment, I'm going to be comparing two projects I completed for the Working with Sources and Formatting unit. My video analysis on how different sources frame coverage of the Epstein files and written guide on configuring a VPN. In this video, I'm going to walk through the purpose of each assignment and the skills I practiced and the challenges I ran into, the strengths and weaknesses of my work, and how each one connects back to what this course is actually asking us to learn. Let's start with the first assignment. My video breaking down how different outlets covered the Epstein files. The purpose of this was to look at the same set of facts and show how they were worded, framed, or presented can completely change how an audience perceives them. So instead of just reporting what happened, I was analyzing how it was being told. The language choices, what got emphasized and what got left out, and how that shapes the reader's or viewer's takeaway. This assignment really pushed me to practice evaluating source bias and credibility. I had to compare multiple sources, cover the exact same topic, and pay close attention to word choice and framing, not just content. It also meant I had to think carefully about the ethics of material I was covering. This is a real sensitive topic involving real people, so I had to be responsible about how I discussed it rather than just repeating information without thinking about the impact. The second assignment is really different in almost every way. This was a written step-by-step guide walking a home user through setting up a VPN to protect their privacy on public Wi-Fi. The purpose here wasn't to analyze anything, it was to explain a process clearly enough that someone with no technical background could actually follow it and succeed. This one gave me a completely different set of skills to practice. Instead of analyzing bias, I was focused on procedural writing, breaking a process down into clear logical steps, using formatting like headers, numbered list, and troubleshooting table to make the guide easy to scan and actually usable. I also had to think about the reader the whole time, what might confuse them, where they might get stuck, and how to prevent that before it happens. So when I put these two side by side, the differences are pretty stark. The Epstein files videos are persuasive and analytical. I was asking the viewer to think critically about how information is presented. The VPN guide was instructional and practical. I just needed the reader to complete a task successfully. The skills were different as well. With media analysis, the biggest challenge was staying objective and handling a sensitive real-world topic responsibly without being sensual about it. With the VPN guide, my biggest challenge was making sure every step was accurate and complete enough that someone with zero technical background wouldn't get lost. Looking at my own work, honestly, I think my media analysis was strong in comparing how language shifted between sources, but if I revised it, I'd want to include more direct side-by-side examples of bias versus neutral wording, so the contrast is even clearer to the viewer. On the VPN side, I think the formatting and step-by-step structure turned out really clean and usable. But one weakness is that I didn't cite any outside sources for my technical claims, which is actually a gap I want to talk about in a second. The big takeaway for me is that these two assignments taught me to work with information in two totally different ways. One where I'm evaluating and questioning sources, and one where I'm the source. And I have to learn to earn the reader's trust through clarity and accuracy. And now going back to the source, but broadly, this course asks us to evaluate the credibility and bias of sources, communicate clearly for a specific audience and purpose, and apply proper citation and formatting convention. Epstein file video lines up really well evaluating credibility and biases. Since that was the entire point of this assignment, my VPN guide lines up well with the second competency, communicating clearly for a specific audience, since the whole guide was built around making a technical process accessible to a non-expert reader. Where I see a gap is that in the third competency, citation and formatting conventions, my VPN guide is well formatted, but it didn't include any references of source list for the technical information that I used. which means it didn't fully meet the citation piece of the competency, even though the content itself was accurate. That's something I'd fix if I did end up revising it. So overall, these two assignments look almost nothing alike on the surface, but together they show two different sides of working with sources. One where I'm critically analyzing how others present information, and one where I'm responsible for presenting the information clearly myself. Comparing them side by side really helps me see where my strengths are and where I need to grow, especially around citing my sources consistently, no matter what kind of assignment I'm doing. And thank you for watching.